Peace in, love out. Double heart taps. How you feeling, everyone? I want to encourage you today with the foundational teachings of mindfulness. And here's this. If you do not get this teaching, if you do not understand this foundation, you miss the whole point. And I'm getting ready to read it, but I want to be quite clear and quite certain with you that this is something you have to get. This is a prerequisite for practice. If you do not fully take heed of this message that is getting ready to be presented, you miss the entirety of practice. And so here's the foundation of mindfulness. Here's the foundation of meditation. Here's the foundation of this practice of the Dharma. And it's not the teaching of stress reduction. It's not the teaching of just being kind to yourself. This is the teaching of liberation. This is the teaching of a boundless heart. This is the teaching of awakening to what is possible. This is the teaching of having sovereign choice. And so we'll go here in the Dhammapada and we'll read starting at verse 190. But when someone going for refuge to the awakening, the Dharma, the Sangha, sees with right insight the Four Noble Truths, suffering, the arising of suffering, the overcoming of suffering, and the Eightfold Path leading to the ending of suffering, then this is the secure refuge. This is the supreme refuge. By going to such a refuge, one is released from all suffering. Did you get that? Did you hear that? This outlines the path for the transmutation, for the transformation of suffering within your life. This is the core of our practice, that it is possible to transform, that it is possible to change, that it is possible to shift the conditions. This is the foundation. And the beauty of it is that you get to choose whether you receive it or not. Whether you choose this Eightfold Path and choose a mindful way and choose the Dharma, or stay stuck in suffering, or stay stuck in the ashes, or stay stuck in a limited way of belief, or stay stuck in a scarcity mindset, or stay stuck in not thinking that you are going to be able to achieve in life. This is the teaching that says you can overcome it. That it is possible. It is possible for you. And so let's unpack this a little bit, because I know it's weighty. I know it's a little meaty, and I hope that you find benefit out of it. And so let's start. It says, but when someone going for refuge, right? In this tradition, when you seek refuge in something, it is where you root yourself. It is where you ground yourself. It is where you go to seek a sense of safety, right? If you think about old military, old castles, medieval castles, they were seen as fortresses. They were seen as refuges where the people of the village would gather inside this place of safety, right? This place of security. So when you're saying, where do I find refuge? They're saying when someone seeks refuge or seeks to root themselves or ground themselves in their awakening, right? Your experience of awakening through your meditation, that's one place. Through the Dharma, these teachings of awakening, this pathway of awakening, that's two. Or three, the Sangha, this community, others endeavoring down this path, right? Fellow travelers. You don't have to just learn from me. You don't have to just learn from someone whose name is in the book. You don't have to learn learn from someone who wrote the book. You don't have to learn from someone who's on TV or has a lot of followers. It says that if you take refuge in Sangha, in other individuals of integrity, of great intent, who are also fellow travelers on this path, that you can take refuge there, that there is equal value. In all three of those places, there is equal value, whether it is your awakening, whether it is this teaching, or whether it is in the community, in the village, in the tribe. You can find support, right? All amidst your ashes, all amidst the business plans that you never finished, all in the middle of all those creative proposals that you didn't complete, in the middle of those manuscripts that you did not get done. It says that you, yes, you can take refuge there. And it says, and when you're there, you begin to see with right insight, right? This is the first part of an Eightfold Path. This first part of transformation is right view, right understanding, how you see and understand the world. In social emotional learning and psychology, they have this term known as schema, and that is the filter that you use to see and understand the world. It's how you process things in your mind. And so the Dharma is saying from the get-go, you have to have a right insight in order to see this. But it says that if you see with right insight, you will see the Four Noble Truths. One is suffering, right? That in this world, there is suffering, that it is a part of it. You see it, you recognize it. Some people like to go, I don't really see it. But if you look at your life and you look at the businesses that you didn't start, that you tried to start, that you procrastinated on starting, if you think about the promotions that you did not go after because you thought that you were not good enough, because you thought that you were not worthy, because you thought that you didn't have the right background and experience, it says that if you begin to look at those, you can see elements of suffering within them. And in this world, that suffering exists. And then it says the arising of suffering. That's the second noble truth, that how it arises, right? And in this teaching, you begin to learn that it comes from this sense of avarice or craving, right? This constant, insatiable craving to control things. And a lot of people immediately or reflexively go, you just need to detach. You just need to let go. That is not the teaching, because it comes right here to the next one, that there is a path of overcoming suffering, right? It didn't just say detach. It didn't just say let go. It didn't just say stay in the ruins. It didn't just say let go of the dream. It didn't just say let go of the purpose. It didn't just say let go of the passion. It didn't say that. It didn't just say let the ashes stay the ashes. It says that there is a path to overcoming suffering, that there is a place of restoration. There is a place of recovery for you and for your dreams. And then it says that path of overcoming is the Eightfold Path. And I guarantee you, the Eightfold Path is not the path of release. It is the path of opening to, of learning to bear witness with, to meet all that arises. It is a place of strength. The Eightfold Path is a place where you awaken to a level of courage, rooted in equanimity and wrapped in compassion and infused with wisdom, the likes of which you cannot even fully comprehend. It is a depth, a reservoir of power that you access when you step into the consciousness of this Eightfold Path, into the awareness of this Eightfold Path. And it says of the Eightfold Path leading to the ending of suffering. This is the key. Listen to this. It says, by going to such a refuge, this is the supreme refuge. This is the secure refuge. By going to such a refuge, one is released from all suffering. Your story is not one of defeat. Your life is not a tragedy. You are not a mistake. There is a path of recovery for you. You will overcome this setback. You have to maintain an awareness that you can choose, that you have the capacity, the sovereign ability to decide another way, to inhabit the supreme refuge, to use your curiosity, to use your wisdom, to use compassion to overcome the suffering in your life. And so I encourage you, wherever you are, find community. Meditate daily so that you can experience your awakening. And practice the teachings. These teachings of the Dharma. Read the Dhammapada. Read the discourses. Read the Heart Sutra. I know it's popular. Everybody has a book out now. And they're great. They're good. They talk about joy. They talk about all the good things, the things that we love to hear. But this is the teaching that says this is about self-mastery. This is about restraint. That this is about self-control. That this is about discipline. That this is about diligence. That this is about establishing an order within your life. This isn't just about stress reduction and calm and feeling better about yourself for a moment. This is a teaching that is about liberation. If you want to inhabit the supreme refuge in your life, you have to awaken. You have to be disciplined. You have to be able to see the ashes around you and not just pretend that the ashes don't exist, and not just send kindness to the ashes, but to say, in these ashes, I will bloom. From this mud, I will bloom. From this defeat, I will bloom. From this rejection, I will bloom. From this setback, I will bloom where I reside. That's the beauty of this practice. That's the beauty of this teaching. Is that it's not saying that you have to wait until certain conditions exist. It isn't saying that you have to wait until you are calm. It doesn't say that you have to wait until somebody else co-signs on you or approves of you. It says that you will bloom where you are, that you can find a supreme refuge where you are, and that you can see it, whether it's within your own direct experience, whether it's within this teaching of awakening, or whether it is within this community, within you, around you, and all supporting you, your growth. Awaken so that you can help relieve suffering within this world. It says in this teaching that out of immense compassion for others and knowing what they went through, that you go back and you help bring them forward, that you help them to awaken as well. And so as you succeed, as you reach forward, as you advance, you also reach back and pull somebody along with you. And you also reach back and help someone advance too. That you use this charitable spirit, a spirit of generosity, to help uplift others. That's the beauty of our practice. It's not about, listen, they say that there are two paths. One is for the path of the monastic, right? The bhikkhu. If you want to become a monk and denounce all your worldly possessions and detach yourself from your family, that's your choice, right? That is your path. If that is your belief, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to judge you. But it also outlines, this teaching outlines, the Dharma outlines the path of a householder, a lay individual, that you can grow your business, that you can grow your wealth, but not just to blindly accumulate it, but so that you can be a source of generosity into others. That just as this person helped other businesses within their community to survive, you can help individuals within your community to survive, to overcome the challenges and suffering within their lives. And so wherever you are today, Don't just stop at the achievement. Don't just stop at the success. Don't just stop thinking that you've made it to the goal and this is how the story ends. It doesn't end in the ashes. It doesn't end in the summit. After you make it to the summit, you have to go back and help someone else across. That is how you complete the cycle. That is how you awaken. The answer, it is within you. The intellect, the insight, the curiosity. Those are all the essential qualities needed. They're already within you. They're contained within the distance between your heart and your mind. They are within you. You don't have to wait until someone in a position of authority approves you, affirms you, wants you, selects you. Select yourself. Rebuild yourself. Grow the business yourself. Apply to a new position. Create a new manuscript. Bloom amidst the ashes. Let's meditate. Coming into an upright and comfortable seated position or standing position. Closing your eyes if it's safe and comfortable to do so. Taking a deep breath in and out to settle into your practice. May you choose to bloom where you reside. May you find community. May you see these teachings of the Dharma. And may you honor the awakening of your heart and mind. Recognize today your sovereign choice, your capacity to choose. Don't just reflexively let go. Walk the Eightfold Path. And develop a strength, a courage, and a fortitude to meet whatever arises. Access a reservoir of power and strength, unmatchable. May all who hear this message of the Dharma awaken their hearts and illuminate their minds to greater levels of wisdom and compassion. Thank you for joining me today, friends. It's been good to be here with you. I will see you back here next time. Double heart taps.